I got an email from Michael, who's with Bank of America, and he said, first of all, thank you for the energy you're putting in Camp Connelly. Recently subscribed, which is great. So here's my question. How many hours a week should I be working? My background is as follows. I've been in business for 6.5 years. I do about $400,000 in production. I've got $47 million assets under management. I'm currently working about 55 hours a week. I spent the first 5 years of my career at Blank, a wirehouse, working many 70-plus hour weeks. I'm wanting to scale down to 45 or 50 hours and still become a $1 million producer in the next 5 to 7 years. Do you think this is possible, working 40 or 50 hours a week? Thank you, Michael. I think it's absolutely possible doing those numbers, working 40 or 50 hours a week. The idea, of course, is to make the hours as productive as possible. I think an advisor, Michael, is the same situation as a doctor. If you're not asking for the order, you're unemployed. But the more patients you can see, the more money you will make. I think it's very important to maximize your efficiency. You've got to be in front of people as much as humanly possible. And you've got to be in front of the right people. You've got to, when I say right people, I mean, well, years ago, John Keeble wrote an article, and he said, John Keeble was the founder of FSC, one of the founders, and he said that, over the years, I've come to redefine my definition of prospect. He said, I always defined a prospect as somebody with cash who's a decision maker who had a financial need. He said, I find that incomplete. To me, a prospect is someone who has cash, who's a decision maker, who has a need, but who values my opinion. So I think when I say to you, you've got to be in front of the right people, I mean wealthy people who value your opinion. That's the hard part of this job, is the prospecting, obviously. I was in a meeting a while back for one of the biggest firms in the street. You can imagine what firm it is. And it was announced last year at that firm, the average FA spent 70% of his or her time preparing to meet with clients and 30% of the time meeting with clients. Yet the average production was almost $700,000. Can you imagine if we could reverse those numbers and spend 70% of our time meeting with clients? And at that point, Michael, the sky's the limit. My dentist, a couple of years ago, mentioned to me he had a problem. He said his calendar was full. He was seeing as many people patients as he could possibly see, and he was charging as much as he could possibly charge, meaning as much as anybody in town. To go any higher, he'd sort of price himself out of the business. He said, I have no way to make more money. What do you think? And, of course, I was stymied. That's a poser. And I saw him later, and he said he'd solved his problem. What he did, you may have heard me mention this somewhere else on the website, I'm not sure, but he said he hired a young dentist coming out of med school with a lot of bills, obviously, and a lot of debt, and he put this young guy in a fabulous situation. Basically, Kenny, my dentist, gave him all his patients to do all the retail work, all the normal work, the retail stuff, and the fillings, etc. What my dentist kept were the very expensive high-end items like veneers, bridges, crowns, root canals. He mentioned in the old days a root canal would take 3 visits. Now with laser drilling, he can do it in 40 minutes, and the charge is $800. So he is now making more money than ever, working less than ever, by doing the right thing. So I think it's time for you, Michael, to begin working with larger clients. If you recall that movie, Jerry Maguire, I said, Jerry, what is your goal? He said, my goal is fewer clients, larger clients, more personal service. I think that's what you've got to do within bank policy, obviously. So I appreciate the question, Michael. Get out there, see the right people, and begin to prospect up. You've got to be talking to people that can give you more money. Then you can do as much business as you want. We've had Mark on this website a lot, talking him in the big producer section. If you recall, Mark works a few days a week, and he works very, very smart and does about $3 million in production. So, yes, you can do it, Michael. Just keep at it.